This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a familiar challenge rising its head this weekend for residents heading into and out of West Grand Bahama. The strong cold front experienced yesterday brought with it rising sea levels and flooding at the Fishing Hole Road. The rising water virtually cutting off West Grand Bahama from the rest of the island for hours. For motorists traversing the area, the flooding is proof that the bridge now under construction is badly needed. Italia Hall reports.
Flooding at the Fishing Hole Road has been a major concern for residents for many years, and on Sunday morning the road flooded again. Photos and videos were sent all over social media where persons warned others about the flood. When our ZNS News team arrived on the scene, cars were backed up for miles as persons waited anxiously to cross the road. It was around 6 in the morning that police received reports about the flooding, and they officially closed the road around 7:30 a.m. Most residents who were going into the western end of the island say they were either on their way to work or church, and due to the road closure, they were late.
Well, you have to get the 8 Mile Rock. Half of the population live there. So you need to get across. The sea running across the highway. You know. Get on with it. Build the bridge if you can build the bridge.
I'm going to church at Homestead Rock. And right now I'm looking at this road. This should never be happening.
I trying to get to work. I working for Bahamas Rock on a barge, and I afraid to ride my country, and I hope the government do something this serious because this is hanging people up.
Always setting up for work to be out there for 7 o'clock. When they come, they see this long traffic. They see the flooding. So we had to turn around this week and wait it out.
The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, was also on the scene, and he says there was a slight delay with the bridge because of Hurricane Matthew.
The works is ongoing. Most of the pilings associated with the bridge was constructed in South Florida. They are actually at the construction site, and we are now preparing the side north of the Fishing Hole Road to prepare for the nailing of the pilings in the ground in order to put the structure up. So we are moving. We're moving with the Fishing Hole Road Bridge, and this springtide is really only demonstrating the fact that we need to solve this vexing problem once and for all.
President of All Bahama Construction, Wolfgang Geiger, who is the general contractor for the Fishing Hole Road, says progress is being made.
We have done more than 600 feet of the bridge, what you don't see, but it's already over there with the piles, the bridge deck slabs, and also the main bridge girders.
The gravel that I'm currently standing on alongside the Fishing Hole Road is where the temporary road will be while the bridge is being constructed. Geiger says in a matter of 2 months, residents should start to see some major changes.
We will start hopefully next week with the paving process of the temporary road. And then after this, we will start to put the piles in the ground and build the bridge.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The nation's leader recently made a clarion call for eligible Bahamians to register to vote as national elections are slated for this year. With that in mind, the Parliamentary Registration Department has rolled out additional centers determined to provide greater access and convenience for those who are not registered. The Parliamentary Department is doing its part to ensure that qualified Bahamians have an opportunity to vote in the upcoming general election. Consultant Alexander Williams says the opening of additional centers throughout Grand Bahama makes it easy and convenient for those who wish to register.
Hope that we, by decentralizing our services, we can reach out to those persons and make it more convenient for them. However, the Parliamentary Registration Department headquarters here in Freeport continues to operate in the usual manner. But bearing in mind the essence of time, we thought that it would be prudent to reach out and carry the service to the communities as opposed to having the community come looking for the service.
Assistant Parliamentary Commissioner Reno Smith shares the new times and location.
The Christian Education Center of the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it will continue from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hugh Campbell Primary School from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. St. George's Senior High School 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Walter Parker Primary School, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Jack Hayward Senior High School, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The Maurice Moore Primary School, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Hawksville Community Development Center, formerly Hawksville High School, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. St. Stephen's Parish Hall, 8 Mile Rock, from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Consultant with the Parliamentary Registration Department, Cecil Thompson, says there's no set time for the general election to be called, and so Bahamians should be prepared.
The Parliamentary Registration Department is making a special appeal to all Grand Bahamians, again, who are qualified and eligible to vote, to take advantage of the additional voter registration centers on Grand Bahama by ensuring that they are registered for the 2017 general elections.
Well, tomorrow is a significant day for the Bahamas as the country will observe the 50th anniversary of majority rule. Major celebrations are planned for the nation's capital, which will include all of the islands. Tonight, a former trade union leader reflects on that time in Bahamian history. Sabrina Brown reports.
Prior to majority rule in January of 1967, veteran trade unionist Leo Douglas says that Bahamians were not treated fairly under the UBP government, particularly when it came to employment. He recalls a disturbing situation at the Jack Tower Hotel in West End.
You find people used to come to the hotel, maybe they have their friends, their relatives come and tell them, look, all you have to do is come over and just tell the immigration officer, you come as a guest to visit, and when you look the next day, they're working in the hotel at the front desk or any place, as if they would just come in. They didn't need no work permit and all like that. So the people were all concerned about that.
Douglas says the country made great strides after the Progressive Liberal Party became the government. And he says the country's first Prime Minister, Sir Lyndon Pindling, should be credited for creating a better way of life for Bahamians.
Things such as the central bank and all these things, you know, he had really done a lot of things. I remember when they talk about the national insurance bringing into effect, people thought that was the worst thing, you know, people, no, you're not going to take out my money and all like that. But Sir Lyndon was determined, and I would say now, had not it been for that national insurance been into effect, I don't know how the average person would have made it, because that is the only hope for many of our citizens in this country. And thank God for Sir Lyndon.
The former hotel union executive says majority rule was no doubt significant for the country's labor force, as Sir Lyndon always championed the cause for workers.
He established law. The first time I think any real law came into effect was when he brought forth the law such as the Industrial Relations Act and all like that, because there was difficulty for you to form trade unions. Trade unions were like, you know, you had to fight. You could have 100% membership in the union and you could not get recognition. You know, they had what they call the Conciliation Act at that time. And there was no provision that you were obligated to recognize a union if they had 50+1. But Sir Lyndon had done all those things.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, a host of events planned for the nation's capital to mark the 50th anniversary of majority rule. The activities will begin at 7 a.m. with a march starting from Windsor Park to Bay Street, ending at the Southern Recreation Grounds. A gospel concert will take place at the Southern Recreation Grounds between 10 a.m. to 12 noon. A Bahamian cultural show and concert will be mounted at Ararat Key from 4 to 8 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and from 8 p.m. to midnight, the Majority Rule Rush Out featuring major Junkanoo groups, and that will take place ending with fireworks. Switching gears now, a team of immigration officers locating 10 undocumented Haitian nationals in a house in Hudson Estate on Friday. Reports say the group was making preparatory steps to be smuggled into the USA. Two Bahamian men, one believed to be the owner of the house, was also arrested. The Haitians were unable to produce proof of legal status in the country, and they claimed that they had recently traveled to Grand Bahama from New Providence. Subsequently, all persons, including the two Bahamians, were taken into custody and transported to Central Police Station and the Immigration Department for further investigation and processing. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.